This is one of the best things you could do is be in here because you are giving yourself fuel, energy that you need to be able to last through the day and the week. And we're coming upon the end of the week, and heavens know that we just have a lot to deal with as founders, entrepreneurs, operators. There is a state of chronic stress and exhaustion that can come from these high pressure nature of starting and running a business. And that is founder fatigue. It's that state of chronic stress. So hopefully you are not in that situation, but we all find ourselves at the brink, or we've seen someone under that state. It's long hours, it's the high stakes, it's the feeling of constant responsibility, financial uncertainty. All of that contributes to founder fatigue. And of course, we know there's a science behind it. We know that when we're under stress, the body releases these stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline. And, stress can be good. It's useful in short bursts. But over these prolonged periods of time, heart disease, sleep disorders, mental health issues, anxiety, depression, all of that is likely to occur when you are just under undue stress for way too long. So let's get as many people as we can in here so we can help reduce that risk. You can do that by hitting the invite button. It should look like a little arrow, or you can just click on the three dots, the ellipses, and click view event details and share it with your network. And let's get some more people in here. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for doing that. Thank you. And then, of course, after we talk about this a little bit and I recite the affirmations, you are more than welcome to raise your hand and come to the stage. You do that by clicking the raise hand button. We'll bring you up on stage and you can share your thoughts about how you triumph over founder fatigue. What do you do when you get to that place where you're just going and going and going and going, and you notice it's time to focus on what's happening here. I need to find a way to overcome this. So I was just thinking about what it means to get to that point. Like, how do we find ourselves at a point where we are just so fatigued, we can't move? And I will say that as human beings, we're dynamic, we're ever changing, and it is not the case that we feel the same day to day. And so I recognize one day you may feel really stressed out, and the next day you're not, and the next day you are, and the next day you're not. The great thing about affirmations and framing your mindset is that it will carry you through no matter how you feel, because it's seeping into your subconscious when you consciously take control and you decide, this is what I want my life to look like, and you are focusing on the things that really matter, and then your mind will take over, which is really cool to me. Give me a heart if you think that's really neat, that you can reprogram, rewire your mind with neural pathways. Yeah, it's pretty neat. It's a feature that comes with this human body, but we have to take care of ourselves. So I was thinking, I work as a creative person. I have these bursts of energy and ideas and these thoughts that are just so wonderful. I feel they need to be expressed now. It has to happen now. Give me a heart if you too feel that way at times. Like, you just have all of this energy, all of these ideas, everything you want to happen. You feel like you can get it done now. Yeah, a few of us: Chantel, Alubinmi, Lizzie, Dr. Marcia, Lizzie. I'm sorry, I said Lizzie twice, Martin. Yeah, I found myself not leaving my chair, I think, for 4 hours once. I just feel like I just blinked. I looked up and I was like, whoa, I have been here for a very long time. Give me a heart if that's ever happened to you. And so while I thought that it was innocent, yes, we've all been there. I thought that this is fine. This is okay because I'm being productive. That may be true. And I think as entrepreneurs, you have to have that mindset where sometimes it's just go time. But then here's the tricky part. How do you use these bursts of energy without prolonging the period to the point where you lead to exhaustion or you just start making yourself sick? The answer is in awareness. When you recognize what is happening, you're able to take care of it. So when you practice focusing your attention on what is happening, then you can bring yourself back to where you need to be, to equilibrium. You can bring yourself back to a state of, this is where I'm supposed to be. Even if what you did was necessary in the moment, you have to pay attention to what's happening to you. And if you find yourself getting caught in these places where you're just sitting and, Andrea, it's not like I intended to be static for so long, knowing that the eyeballs need a break, knowing that your body needs to get up and stretch and you need water and you need to go to the bathroom, do all these things and eat. I would really highly suggest that you put in some safeguards to help you not get to that point where you're just not even in control of these things, right? So you have the Pomodoro technique. That's a timer that you set 25 minutes, take a break, come back to it, or 15 minutes in the increments of whatever it is that you're trying to get your project done. It's knowing that, okay, I'm going to drink water on the hour, every hour, or every two, whatever time frame that you decide. It's understanding at, different times of the day, breakfast, lunch, dinner, I'm going to eat mindfully. I'm going to either be with my family or you make these rules for yourself to help yourself stay in equilibrium. But that is a mindful practice because you're focusing your attention on the present moment. And guess what? If you mess up, just accept it without judgment. There's a way of being aware where you don't harm yourself to the point of now we're getting critical, right? If any of that resonates with you, give me a heart, because I need to know that I'm reaching someone. Awesome. So I want to go into a few steps that I always think is really important. And this just helps you to manage yourself and stay mindful. There's a few things, then we'll go into our affirmations. And it always comes down to, this is my acronym, and you're going to hear it a lot, but guess what? The more you hear it, the more you plant seeds. The more seeds you plant, the more you water it, the more it grows. You have a forest. You have built up this reserve. You have built up a fortress of taking care of yourself. Okay, so if you're ready, I'm going to tell you, give me a heart. All right, boss. It's called Boss Your Mindset. You can do it in times of high stress, or you can just do it in times when you realize that you've gone off the deep end, like, oh no, okay, let me bring myself back. How do I do this? Boss. Breathe deeply. We can all do it together. Breathe deeply. Observe non-judgmentally. So I'm going to observe what's happening with my thoughts and my emotions. Just observe it and not judge myself. And you're not going to judge yourself. You're not going to do anything but just observe what's happening. What are you thinking right now? How do you feel? Take a moment to think about it. And if you have time, you can even ask yourself, why? Why do I feel that way? Why do I think that way? And then if you notice any tension or something going on in your body, just scan it. Scan your body for tension. And if you feel it, release it. And then lastly, savor the present moment. Maybe you're in a really beautiful place, but if you're working through it, you miss it. You miss that moment. It could be a place where, I am a firm believer, like Shankar and I are always taking workations, we call them. We'll go to this beautiful place, but we want to experience the air, the beach, the sand on our toes, the waves crashing. It's a part of that experience. And if you don't savor the moment, you miss it. Staying in the present moment is very important. And that's a part of mindfulness. Or even if you're in your office, find something to savor about that moment. And if it's a high intensity or stressful moment, know that it will pass and that there will be a blessing in the lesson that you're learning. I think that's very important. So that's all a part of mindfulness and awareness, the body scan, and then of course move. Just breathe and move. Make it a point to add physical activity to your day, to go outside and look around at all of the beauty around you, even if it's hearing cars in the street. I know I say this a lot, but it is highly, highly important to be purposeful when you go outside. Can you take in everything around you? Can you appreciate your humanity? And can you let that reduce your stress? Because the world keeps spinning. Even if something happens that's unfavorable, you can be grateful for the present moment. And those are just a few ways to take care of yourself. If any of that is helpful, please give me a heart. I know I'm being pretty interactive today, but I appreciate you being in here. Thank you. So now we're going to go into our affirmations, and just remember, fatigue a lot of times happens when you just concentrate so much on everything but everything. I know that sounds a little mysterious, but what I mean is when you have the whole picture in front of you, you have your whole life ahead of you, and that life is bigger than this moment that's happening right now, then you can overcome. And if you do that often enough, you won't even get to the point of where you have fatigue, because you won't allow it to happen to your body. You have these safeguards in place, you have timer, or you have getting up, drinking water on the hour, going outside and enjoying your life where you're at. Maybe it's bringing your wants into your reality. Well, I know me, I love wallpaper and photos and all of these things. Take me to some place, or let me just be aesthetically pleased by the things that are around me, whether it's an essential oil that I'm smelling, a candle, or mindfully sipping a cup of tea. There are things you can do to enjoy the present moment and the earth that you're living in. As a human being, you are more than your work. You're more than your business. Even though I know that's funny to say to a group of entrepreneurs, you're much more than that. All right, so let's get into these affirmations. If you'll just close your eyes and take a deep breath and repeat after me, allowing this to seep into your consciousness and subconsciousness so you can say it and believe it and manifest it. I am strong, capable, and resilient. I trust my instincts and my ability to make sound decisions. I have the power to overcome challenges and obstacles. Every day, I'm becoming more successful. I am thankful for the opportunities that have come my way. I am surrounded by positivity and success. I have everything I need to achieve my goals. I am learning and growing from my experiences. I am passionate about what I do and why I do it. I am capable of managing stress effectively. I prioritize balance and well-being in my life. I am confident in my ability to succeed. My ideas are valuable and worthy of pursuit. I am proud of the work I am doing. I recognize my achievements and celebrate them. I am focused on my journey and my goals. I am resilient and always find a way forward. I am capable of achieving great things. I have the strength to overcome any fatigue. I am mindful of my needs and ensure I take time to rest and recover. I can handle every situation that comes my way. I trust my journey and the process of building my business. I find joy and fulfillment in my work. I am fully capable of realizing my vision. I am more than fatigue, and I am not defined by it. You know, when I told you I was sitting at my desk for 4 hours straight, maybe it was 8. I don't really know. I just know it was a very long period of time where I was in the zone and I was feeling so accomplished, getting everything done. But then, you know what? I think my body refused to go forward after that, and I took a 4-hour break, or an 8-hour, whatever the equivalent was. I'm glad I listened to my body. I think that is the best thing you can do for yourself. when you're thinking about overcoming fatigue, just be kind and compassionate. In the same way that you wouldn't expect your child or a friend or anyone else to overdo it, not for too long anyway, not chronically. It's the same for you. If you talk to a mentor or even a professional like a coach or a therapist, or whether it be family, friend, whoever it is, they want the best for you, and you should want the best for yourself. You can be your own support system. Self-care doesn't have to be abandoning responsibility. It just means you're taking care of yourself. You're eating healthy. You're getting the exercise you need. You're sleeping enough. And you're taking time for leisure and relaxation in responsible ways, of course. And then, of course, these meditation sessions and mindfulness, these are all the antidote you need to overcoming founder fatigue. And I'm going to tell you, Shanae and Shankar, before I open the floor to them and everyone else who wants to come up, they have been so critical in helping me to be consistent and to be a support system with growth. I've grown so much, and I think you can too. So I'm going to tell you this. You need to plug in. You need to click my face, go to that link that's underneath that says 4-day LinkedIn challenge, and get in on this, because they're the only people I know that actually are excessively caring for you. They care to a point where you're not going to be on your own doing everything without guidance, and just 4 days can show you what you can do. This is about you supporting yourself as well, but also having accountability. And so if you click my face, any one of our faces actually, and go to the link underneath, you can be redirected to a page where you sign up and you have access into the room that will allow you to go on this journey for 4 days and develop your personal brand, which is really important here on LinkedIn and really everywhere. It's transferable everywhere because it's about growing and speaking in a way where people resonate with what you're saying and understand the service and the unique gift that you bring to your community. If that resonates with you, give me a heart. And if you've clicked my face and gone to that link, give me a thumbs up. Just check it out. All right, so thank you. Want to know who has something to share about how they've triumphed over founder fatigue? Maybe it's something that was already mentioned, maybe not. We want to hear from you. We have about a minute per person, and then we'll go into our visualization and close with a sound bath.
I only got a minute today, Andrea.
We'll give you 2, Shankar.
Thank you. Well, I think I would make the distinction between founder's fatigue, the fact of just being done with being a founder, being an entrepreneur, just no longer having a drive for that, and then just being tired as a founder physically and mentally. Now, of course, I get tired physically and mentally, but I have never experienced the first kind. As a matter of fact, I am the person where people tell him, don't you ever get tired? Do you never have fun in life? You gotta relax. And people don't understand that I'm having the best time of my life. And I would like to offer to the people in the audience 2 strategies that have worked for me to give me that superpower. The first one is that I have always lived below my means. From a very early age on, I understood that if I have savings, then I will not be exposed to the stress that some founders have to go through, worrying nonstop about how to make ends meet, because that kind of stress is really the death to founders and entrepreneurship. So you know how they say you should have a 3-month rainy day fund? Well, because I started early, I probably have a 3-year rainy day fund, and that gives me this stamina in entrepreneurship. The second part is never underestimate the power of your mind combined with your willpower, because that develops into a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? It's really, really powerful. And that's a combination of everything you teach, Andrea. The mindset, the visualization, the self-awareness. And if all of this made sense to you, dear listeners, and you want to be in touch with people who carry that energy, then please join us for the 4-day challenge, as Andrea mentioned. Again, just clicking one of our faces and finding the link in our description, or by going to the website yougrow.club. That's YOU grow.club. Thank you, Andrea.
That's a beautiful distinction. I think it's really important. And I'm glad that you brought that up. And see, sometimes you think that you are tired as a founder, which is don't judge yourself for that. And sometimes you are just tired as a human being in your body. Or maybe it's a particular project. And sometimes certain clients can be tiring. Give me a heart if you know some clients are tiring. Shanae, did you have anything you wanted to add about triumphing over founder fatigue? I know that you spoke with billionaire Naveen Jain, and he dropped some golden nuggets of wisdom that you have held on to. I know one of the things Shanae said was the best way to get over founder fatigue or burnout is to make sure you don't get there in the first place. That's what he had said. And one of the things, she has a sore throat, poor thing. So one of the things right now that I think is just continuing down that road, when you say these affirmations, when you cultivate mindfulness, what you're saying is, I have everything I need to achieve my goals. I'm capable of managing stress. I'm proud of the work I'm doing. I'm proud of the work I'm doing. And then, you know, what happens is you start wondering, am I proud of the work I'm doing? And that's a good thing. Because sometimes when you are in these states of mindfulness, especially if you do meditation, you'll find things out about yourself. It's about self-discovery. Life is so beautiful. The mind and the body speak to us. If you understand, I'm not actually in love with what I do, you will shift. You will pivot. It's inevitable because you're telling yourself that. If you're saying, I love what I do, I'm proud of the work I'm doing, and you're not, you are going to find a way to get out of that. But you have to continue to tell yourself these things. It's a back and forth conversation. I know it sounds strange because we're only one person and we have one mind, but that's actually proven success for entrepreneurs when you have your visualizations and you're really in touch with yourself. Whoa, we are at time. So I'm going to walk us through super, super duper quickly. I'm so sorry. I was so excited. But if you could just find a comfortable position, close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, believe in yourself. Believe that there's a reason why you have these thoughts. Imagine you're standing tall atop a mountain with the ground firm beneath your feet. Feel the invigorating mountain air filling your lungs. See the vast landscape around you, full of possibility. Hear the birds calling. Smell the freshness of nature. As challenges arise, visualize yourself standing tall on your mountain, centered and grounded. See the obstacles as opportunities for learning and growth, and know that you have deep inner reserves of wisdom, of strength, and courage to weather any storm. See yourself persevering with mindfulness, patience, and compassion. Feel confident in your vision moving forward, and whenever you need an anchor amidst the storms of entrepreneurship, return to this mountain. You are strong, you are resilient, you can do this. Boss your mindset. We'll see you in the challenge, and we'll see you next week, 7 a.m. Central Time. Have a wonderful Mindful Thursday. Thank you all so much for being here. Bye-bye.